So, story time. Why I hate American Airlines. American Airlines kicked me off a flight that I was registered for, treated me as a criminal, spoke to me aggressively, and basically embarrassed me, telling me I had to get off the plane. Only to find out, once I gotten off the plane, that I had a reservation for that plane. So here we go. I was traveling between June 15th and June 19th of 2022. So I've never flown American Airlines, and I've always heard about them beating ass. So that's why I've never flown American Airlines. So I booked a trip through Skiplag, which I have an issue with them also because they have not refunded me my money because the flight was canceled. Anywho, I'm going to continue. So on the 15th, I leave. I live in Georgia. I get to Hartsfield Airport. I am basically, I go through security, everything like I'm supposed to, only to find out that my flight has been delayed. All that weekend, American Airlines was telling everyone that the reason they're having such massive delays is due to weather. But Delta, United, quite a few other airlines that actually flew into the cities that they were flying me in and out of, because they rerouted me forever, they were still able to fly into those airports. So I'm not sure why American Airlines would say that, other than I found out from a customer service rep that it had to do with crew. So when I get on the planes, I'm going from Atlanta to Charlotte, and from Charlotte to my hometown, which is Fort Wayne, Indiana. So I get on the flight, no problems other than delayed. But I knew I was going to have a problem once I got to Charlotte because of how late we were getting in, and I would miss my next flight. So we got in, and they hustled us to a customer service desk. As we're standing in line to be serviced, another lady walks around and says, "We don't have any more hotels. You all are going to have to figure it out for yourself. This and this. Here's these coupons. Here's this receipt, paperwork to get a refund. Ma'am, we do not do refunds here." I mean, people were holding their hand up to ask questions, in regards to what was going on. And the arrogance, the rudeness of their employees was ridiculous. Literally, the lady just kept snapping, saying she don't do refunds, even when that wasn't a question. Anyways, so I'm standing at this counter. They know that they have all these delayed flights, and they got one person working the counter. It was two when we first started, and there was about 4 people in our office. So, but it got down to one lady. Well, by the time I got helped, it was a gentleman that jumped in to help me. And I told him, I said, I'm supposed to go to Fort Wayne, Indiana. My flight, I missed this flight because my flight from Atlanta to Charlotte was delayed, y'all said, due to weather. So he says, no problem. Let me see what I can do for you. So he's working on getting me other arrangements. So he says, I can get you because the earliest flight that they had back to Fort Wayne, to Fort Wayne, was on a Friday. So I said, Friday's not going to work for me. I have to be there before the funeral so that I can help get things ready for the repast, which will be the next day. So he says, well, let me see what I can do. He ends up giving me, like I said, a ticket to Indy. He prints out the ticket. He hands me the ticket, and he apologizes again. I put the ticket in my laptop bag. And now I proceed down at Charlotte's airport to find me a hotel and how I'm going to get there. Because the entire time that we all were in line at the customer service desk, the lady kept stating that this is not a 24-hour airport. So I felt like I had to leave the airport, so I had to find a room. I don't know Charlotte like that. So I left the airport. I ended up getting a room, ended up paying like $112 for the room. I had to Lyft there and back, which was like 30 something dollars. I get to this hotel. I'm able to shower, get myself ready. It was not the best hotel, but it was something that I could find. I get up in the morning, I call Lyft again, and now I am on my way to back to the airport. I get back through the airport. I go through security with my ID in my hand and my paper ticket that I got from the man last night. As I'm going through the line, security has not stopped me. Security hasn't said anything. I get up to where my gate is. I'm sitting. I'm at the gate. They let us board. I'm actually sitting in 9D on flight, I believe it was 933 or 993. So I'm sitting on that flight, ready to go to Indianapolis. And I notice two women are walking towards me, and I hear one say to the other one, well, you want me to get the stewardess? And I notice they keep looking at my seat number and looking at me. So I put my ticket on my lap so that they could see that it says 9D. The man comes down to me, the stewardess, and he says, ma'am, do you have your ticket? And I pull my ticket out and I show it to him, and he goes back, and I hear him tell the lady she has 9D also. So then another stewardess comes up and he says, well, what's your name? And I told him my name twice. He says, well, I don't have you on my roster. He says, hold on. So now the old man that had actually I walked past and scanned my ticket to get on the plane, he comes on the plane and he says, you gotta get off this plane. What's your name? Your name's not even on this damn ticket. Well, he didn't say damn. He said, your name's not on this ticket. And then he says, you gotta go. You gotta get off the plane. So now I'm pissed. And I'm saying to him, how did I get the ticket it's not like I can go behind your counter and print these things. So he's like, I don't know what happened, but you got to get off this flight. You're not on our roster. Your name's not. Then he basically takes his whole finger and points down and stabbing my thigh saying, that's not your name. The name said Blair something. So Blair, if you catch this at any point in time, let me know so that you can validate. Either way it go, I got recording of the supervisor validating, but they should compensate you too, Blair. Whoever Blair is, I can't remember if it was her first or last name, but it said Blair on the ticket. In all honesty, you all, I never looked at the ticket. The man gave it to me. I put it in my bag. I was ready to go. I thought I was set. I went all the way through security with my driver's license and that paper ticket, and no one stopped me. And the names did not match. I boarded a whole plane, and so did she, the same plane, and still no alarms went up that those seats, that someone had already scanned a ticket with that seat number. Nothing came up. How secure are we really, American Airlines and Charlotte TSA? So let me continue. So once I get off, I am in discussion for damn near an hour with American Airlines, one of their supervisors, and he's pretty much apologizing for me being snatched off the plane and how I was treated. Now, here's where the journey begins, because he is requesting that they put me on the next flight to Indy, first class, because there was a seat available. Whoever he was on that phone with refused to give me the first class ticket because they told him there were a lot of people already on hold waiting. So in this video that I am going to attach to this, you can hear me tell him that it shouldn't matter that there was a long waiting list for this flight because you all messed up and you should take care of me. What happened is he ended up getting me a flight to Dayton, Ohio. I'm sorry, to Dayton, Ohio. And there I was to figure out, how I'm going to get from Dayton to Fort Wayne. He did give me a voucher for $717. I'm not a frequent flyer. I didn't understand what the voucher meant. So basically, the voucher was so that I can use American Airlines again, which I'm not. Anywho, so I finally get to Dayton, Ohio. I get to the airline, and I'm talking to one of the stewardess or person working the desk to load you onto the plane. And he says, there's no customer service. I can help you because we don't really have a customer service. So I say, okay. So in that process, in that time of he asked me, well, where are you coming from? And I told him Atlanta. I'm going to Fort Wayne, Indiana. I told him about the delay. I told him how I had to stay overnight. I told him about my treatment, everything that happened. And in that process, my sister calls and says, hey, can they flip that voucher to a rental car? So I asked the young man, can the voucher be flipped to a rental car? He says, well, hold on, let me see. Basically, this young man at Dayton, Ohio, I don't know his name, but he took care of me. He got me a voucher where a taxi drove me 2.5 hours to Fort Wayne International Airport because of their error. But apparently they were doing that for everybody because Fort Wayne National Airport the day before, the storm was too bad, so they had to land in Dayton. And then from Dayton, everybody was being taken to Fort Wayne International Airport. All right, so I finally make it home to my hometown. I started out Wednesday. I think my flight left about 7 something. And I made it to Fort Wayne, Indiana. I want to say Thursday evening, where I should have been there Wednesday. Anywho, so now I've handled the getting ready for the repast and going to the funeral, and now Sunday comes, and this is the time for me to leave. You all, I am even sick trying to tell you this story now. But I got nauseated. My hands began to shake. My breathing got labored the closer I got to the airport. By the time I got to the gate, I felt like I was going to pass out or like I needed a bag to throw up in. 18 minutes after being there, I get a notice that says, flight's been delayed. So now I call customer care again, their customer care. I'm on the phone with customer care. Customer care states to me that it's a crew thing, and so there was nothing that they could do. Basically, they had to fly a pilot from Chicago to Charlotte. I'm sorry, from Chicago to Fort Wayne that can fly us to Charlotte. That's why there was a delay. So, I continue. I'm on the plane, and I asked for a bag because I really felt like I was just going to throw up. By the time we get to Charlotte, and I get off the plane, I'm still a little woozy, but it starts to dissipate. I call my daughter. She ends up taking me to her job and stuff, and then we come back. And so I think I need to back up. I ended up paying for like 3 seats. When I left Fort Wayne to go to Charlotte, I noticed in the app that I didn't have a seat on one flight. So I had to call customer care to lock in a seat. And I told the young lady that you all have charged me 3 times, but I still don't have a seat. I can't even get a boarding pass to print to show up on the app that's on my phone. So that's why I had to keep asking for printed tickets. Anywho, so I haven't got my refund for those 3 seats yet. It just says hold, where they told me it was going to be released. Anyway, I continue. So we get to Charlotte. I get back so I can get on the flight going home, because I couldn't get another flight to get to Atlanta until 8:40. So because of their staff shortages, I got booted this whole entire weekend trip. And apparently a whole lot of people. So if you are one of those American Airlines from June 15th to June 19th had caught hell trying to get anywhere, please comment in this section so we can talk about it. They need to know that their customer service sucks, that their people have a major attitude, and that they lied about this whole entire weekend. All you have to do is Google. They said the weather in Charlotte was horrible on the 15th, and that's why they could not have, we could not fly in. Only when I Googled Charlotte, it said cloudy and sunny. So I'm just not sure what weather they were looking at, or why they keep saying, even when you call their customer care number, it says we have major weather issues all over, so that's why the demand is so high. But nobody else does. Delta, United, all of these other airlines that were going to Fort Wayne, we're going to Indy, we're going to leave the same places I am. It's just my flight had a stop. Theirs was a direct flight. They didn't stop. So why did y'all? Once again, it had to do with crew, and that you had to have lied about saying it was the weather. Anywho. So I get to Atlanta, I get on the plane at 8:40. I get home. It's probably about 10 something at night on a Sunday. No, it may have been like 11, 12. Anywho. So I end up calling their customer care, and I tell the young lady, I want refunds. I don't want this voucher, because the voucher is basically knocking me into flying with you all again, which will never ever happen again. I said, I believe you all have given me postpartum PTSD is what I said. I said, I feel like y'all have given me PTSD, because every time I got ready to get on a plane, my breath got labored. I felt like I was going to throw up, and I felt like I was going to pass out. I've never had that happen. It wasn't until after this incident. I was so worried that I wasn't going to make it home. So American Airlines needs to do better. And if American Airlines refuses to do better, we need to stop using them. As consumers, I'm tired of people overbooking their airlines, and now you're forcefully booting me off a seat, which now prolongs my destination, me getting to my destination, all because of your error, or all because you overbooked, or all because you don't have enough staff. If you only got 10 pilots, you only gonna fly 10 damn goddamn flights. That's my opinion. These people have been horrible, terrible to me. They did not take care of me. I'm still waiting on them to respond with my complaint. My niece spent like $680 something for the dang gone ticket. I haven't heard anything about that. I requested the refund for my room and the lifts, and I requested the refund for those 3 seats I bought that I didn't get, and I'm requesting an apology, because that old man pulled me off that plane like I had committed a crime. The plane was full. Matter of fact, they had sat 2 standbys in my seat. Had sat a standby in my seat. At the end of the day, y'all, companies that feel like they can take your hard-earned money, because I don't know about you all, but I'm not rich. And when you take my little hard-earned money, that's a problem for me, because now I have to recoup that. I have to figure out how to get that back or make that back. And I didn't get the service that you were supposed to give me. So since I didn't get that, American Airlines, I need you to fix this situation and give me my refund. I don't care that you have millions of refunds, because I'm only concerned about me. Fix it. You all should be able to take care of these situations in your major airports. American Airlines, you can't even file a complaint or speak to anybody for customer relations. You have to email somebody and wait for them to respond to you. And regular customer care, they don't want to hear it. They were rude as shit too to me. One guy talked over me so much that he was like, "Ma'am, if you don't stop yelling." I told him, I said, "If you were in my situation, how would you feel?" I said, "I'm frustrated and you keep asking me the same questions. So yeah, now I'm yelling." At this point, the energy that is bottled up is an energy that makes me want to snap. You all took my money but didn't give me the service that I was supposed to give. And then you lied about it. That's a problem for me. American Airlines, you need to do better. American Airlines customer relations, I'm waiting on you to send me my damn money or to make a phone call to me, because you haven't called me yet.